Pues no sé dónde ponerme, me pongo aquí detrás, como un ladrillo. Bueno, gracias por atender la llamada. Sabemos que no es que estés liado, está todavía un poco más, ¿no?
Sí.
La semana pasada fue dura, me imagino, en el Mobile World Congress y tendrás un montón de leads. Okay, so the idea of today is, first of all, thank Carlos for being here. Carlos has been working with Axon for at least 5 years or more.
3.5.
3.5, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were managing the investments in not only in Spain but also overseas.
In India, yeah.
In India, that's right.
Yeah.
You spent some time there, right?
Yeah, 1.5 years in India, yeah.
And we have some interests in common. Axon invested also in hot wave travel, so we have one company that we want and we believe is going to be big. And the idea of today is trying to find out if there is going to be another hot around here in the classroom. I think we have pretty good news. 2-3 of the companies that we have, probably they are going to be very interesting for you in the next few months. They have amazing traction, and yeah. So please, I think it will be great if you can give us an introduction about what you've been doing, your investment, and Axon's idea of investing in Spain or in Europe too. Yeah. So the audience is yours.
Sure. Well, thank you very much, Rafa, for giving me the opportunity to explain a little bit what we're doing, and of course, meeting all your new companies. So let me start with myself. I'm Carlos Rodriguez Maribona. I'm the manager of the Spanish funds of Axon Partners Group right now. As Rafa told you, I used to work for our India funds. I lived in between Bangalore and New Delhi for 1.5 years, investing in technology, not only digital economy, but technology in a much more broad way. But right now I'm focusing on the Spanish funds. We have 2 funds in Spain currently. One is an early stage fund, 10 million euro fund, which invests between 200,000 euros and 1.5 million euros. It's a joint fund with La Junta de Andalusia, so we have a special target for Andalusian companies, even though we're also bringing foreign companies or companies from other cities to Andalusia as well, opening an office that also qualifies for our fund. But we're also, of course, looking for native Andalusian companies. In that fund, among others, we invested in hot wave travel, as Rafa told you, from the first batch of Bolt. We also invested in other 2 online travel companies, BuyHours.com and Glamping Hub, which is a company in Seville. We also launched recently a second fund for Spain, which I'm more focusing on right now. It's a 50 million euro fund. It's going to be something different from what is in the Spanish market right now. We're going to invest between 2 and 8 million euros in growth stage companies.
Sorry, you say 15? 1-5?
No, 50.
50, 50. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. It's going to be one of the biggest VC funds in Spain, only targeting Spanish companies, growth stage companies. What we see is that nowadays is, I'm not going to say easy, but it's easier than it used to be to raise a 1 million euro round. There's some players coming out, but we see a very big equity gap in the next round. So we want to be in that stage, trying to do a lot of co-investment with American and European funds in growth stages. That's basically what we're doing in Spain. Apart from that, in Axon, I think you've met Manfred as well, so he probably told you something about us. We're a global firm. We have offices in Bogota, in Miami, in Istanbul, and of course in New Delhi. We apart from investing, we also do some consulting and corporate development tasks. that gives us a very good network mainly in emerging markets where we are mostly present. But apart from investing in Spain, we're investing as well in Latin America and India. In Latin America, we have an 80 million euro, dollars fund. We're investing mainly in Colombia, Peru, and Mexico. That's a fund that is going quite well. We are seeing a lot of opportunities in the region, a lot of good companies. Well, I didn't tell you, but all these in Latin and Spain is only focused on digital economy. So we're investing in digital economy companies, both B2C and B2B companies. We've always had very, very important ties and networks with Latin America. So in every company we invest in Spain, one of our main objectives is try to, well, as far as it makes sense, try to bring the companies to Latin America as fast as possible, because we see a lot of opportunities there to replicate successful models in other, let's call, more developed regions. So that's basically it. Well, India is, we have another fund where I used to work. It's a 50 million euros fund. That's a bit different. The scope is a bit different. We're not doing only digital economy deals. We're investing in technology as a whole, more industrial companies like electric vehicles company or aerospace company as well. And some of our exits and success stories in the past have been companies like Waki TV, which we sold to Rakuten Group, Thinkia, the creator of Pocoyo, which we sold a little bit after the company went to the MAB, and it was not in a very good shape, but we exited successfully. We've also exited company in Latin America, an online food delivery company there called Click Delivery, which we sold to Delivery Hero, one of the biggest international players. And we also sold our stake in Just Eat India. We were partners with Just Eat in their India subsidiary, and we sold it to Rocket Internet Group a couple of months back. And that's basically it about it. I don't know if you have any doubts about what we do, what we've done in the past.
I have a question, and this is mainly about the way you invest. Is it only equity, or do you have any other convertible notes or SAFE or something like that is being quite popular right now in some places in Europe and the United States? What do you do, I mean, normally?
We usually invest in equity. That's the regular way we've done things in the past. But we realize that it's sometimes more flexible to use convertible notes in early stages. So we're looking for these kind of different ways of financing for our next investments in early stage. We see more flexibility using convertible notes, but it's also complicated to fix discounts, caps, floors. There's a lot of things that can change the rules of the game. If you go straight to equity, things are more clear since day one. So we felt more comfortable with that, but we're also moving the way the market is moving. So if the market is going more to convertible notes in early stages, we're open to it as well.
Yeah, I'm muting and activating the mic in case you don't hear. Okay, and do you co-invest, or are you feeling okay just investing yourself into a company?
Well, we are a very active investor, meaning we have a small portfolio. We're a big amount of people. We're around 40 people globally in the whole team. So we have a lot of resources to dedicate to every company. So we don't feel we're in a need to co-invest. I mean, there's other funds that can't really pay as much attention as we do to companies, so they feel more comfortable co-investing because they feel that in case they're not available, you'll have the other investor to help. We don't feel that necessity. We have plenty of time to dedicate, and actually we're happy to dedicate as much time as we can to our portfolio companies. But having said that, we're lately co-investing well, we feel that different profiles can bring different things to the table. So, I mean, we're open to everything.
Okay. And okay, one of the sorry, one of the targets of Bolt is trying to bring companies and stay here in Andalusia. That is one of the main target. I mean, we want to do an ecosystem. We want to not create, because that is very bold statement, but we'll try to do something to help the ecosystem here. In the eyes of a company, what is it interesting for you to be here in Andalusia? What do you think is a good place for starting a company? And in the case you recommend people to start up a company here, what are the main benefits from that? I mean, from your position and from the capital that is in the market at the moment.
Yeah, well, for us in Andalusia, well, this fund we have with La Junta we consider it to be a strategic move. We didn't really need it because, as I told you earlier, we have three other active funds worldwide. But we saw it as a very interesting move, basically because we didn't want to be in early stages unless we were able to do something a bit different, right? And this is different from the point of view of being regional, being together with a public entity that supports us pretty much. Even if we know how La Junta works, it's always good to go together with these kind of entities. Um, and it was a beautiful project because, yeah, at the end of the day, it's supposed to help foster this entrepreneurial ecosystem down in Andalusia, which is a region with lots of talent, but not with a real ecosystem built. Even when you think of other regions in Spain, there's a lot that can be improved. Apart from Barcelona, probably there's no other region with a very big established startup ecosystem. Even, well, we're in Madrid, but even in Madrid, we're still trying to promote it and to really create a good ecosystem. So when you speak about Andalusia, I see, of course, the obvious reasons to start a business there, which is some very good universities, both Universidad de Málaga, Universidad de Sevilla. They both have good schools. They have good engineers. That's also been proven with some big international companies establishing big offices in both cities, which I think is a very good sign. And apart from, of course, climate, access to a lot of, I mean, Malaga Airport is connected to a lot of cities worldwide. There's access. One of the main things that I feel are important is that the regional government is paying a lot of attention to the ecosystem and giving a lot of money, which is always good, as long as you do it with some criteria. Actually, privatizing the managing of the funds like they did with us, I think it's a smart move, like what they're doing with some accelerators as well. I think it's always good to have the government on your side. And that's a good sign of potentially being able to create a good ecosystem in the region.
Do you think also prices of the workforce here in Andalusia are cheaper than any other places in Spain or Europe? Or
yeah, of course, of course. Compared to Barcelona, as I told you earlier, we're for example, in a company like BuyHours.com, which has its headquarters in Barcelona. The price of an engineer there, a good engineer with a very mature, or at least somehow mature ecosystem, is of course above, I would say, 35,000 euros a year, a very junior one. If you think of Seville or Malaga, those costs can be less than two-thirds what they're paying. We've seen that. I would say that's good, but it's also dangerous because if you're a worker in Seville, for example, you're an engineer in Seville, and you know that you're gonna make much more in Barcelona, you always have the temptation to move there, right? So I'm not so sure that costs are, well, of course, if I were an entrepreneur, I would take that in consideration a lot, but I would also be a little bit scared of with the possibility of losing good talent to all these other cities.
That's a very good point. And the question that I will have to you, it is, you know, most of the startups that they've been through Bolt. I mean, we tend to advise them to give equity to early employees and to founders, and have, of course, vesting clause into their shareholder agreements. But when you invest in a company, do you want to retain talent in the way of giving stock options or fan plan options or something like that? Is it something you encourage or not?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not only the risk of losing talent to Barcelona, for example. It's the risk of losing talent to anywhere in the world. I mean, we're in a global economy, we're in a global world. Right now, it's easier to access a job in Silicon Valley, for example, if you're a good engineer, than it's ever been, and it will continue like that. So of course, I mean, if you're able to engage your employees from day one with equities, usually the, the the tool that you can use to engage people for a long term. We always encourage that. So, for example, we're right now closing an investment where 5% of a stock options plan had been approved in the past, actually a couple of months before we entered, so it doesn't dilute us as of today, but we're also approving in the moment of investment an additional 5% stock option plan for future employees or even some of the current employees. Because we believe that giving equity to employees is critical if you want them to be motivated and if you want them to be with you for a long time.
Okay. One question from the audience here. Yeah.
What's the normal rate you should give to first employees coming in the company? Like, what usually you advise companies to give to their first time employee, and how do you proceed so that you make sure you give it to the right people?
Yeah. How much?
What was the question?
Yeah. First, how much equity will you give to first time to the first employees, and then how do you choose that the person is right? I mean, to be given that amount of equity.
Mhm. Well, the things here, well, first employees are not easy to quantify. You never know. You shouldn't give equity since day one. I mean, there's a lot of tools that you can use to keep people in the company. There's cliffs, there's vesting. I mean, to me, of course, it depends in the round you're thinking of. But if you come to us in a Series A, let's see, I want to see that 80% of or something like that, 80% of the company is owned by management team or team. I don't even care if it's management or not. If you're going for the next round, I would say that more than 50-60% should be owned by management. Then if you go for a big Series B, all international funds will want that more than 40% is owned by current team, right? So what equity should you give to first employees? I don't know. I would start with something like a 5%. Of course, vested and with cliffs. I mean, if you have to stay for sure for 1 year at least, which I think it's a good amount of time. And starting from that point, I will start giving you small pieces of equity for the next, I don't know, 3 years if you stay with me in the company. Then, of course, afterwards, you will have to negotiate with whoever invests in your company, any other additional stock option plans.
Okay. Thank you. Another question. I have a question, and it's about you. I mean, you've been exiting some companies. How do you foresee this in the future? I mean, what will be the best case scenario? Because you have sold your shares to some other venture capitals, we can say. You have also gone through the IPO type of exit in the Madrid Stock Exchange, the alternative one. How do you foresee that it will be the liquidity of your investments in the next years?
Okay, so unfortunately in Europe, there's not really a real secondary market right now. So private equities are not buying our shares in companies. Big VCs are a bit reluctant to buy our shares as well. They are sometimes even reluctant to buy early investors like business angels and so on. We are and even ourselves, when we do growth investments, we are obsessed with cashing only investments. I mean, we don't want any money going out of the company when we do investments. But that doesn't happen in the US really. I mean, you have a lot of secondary sales. You have a lot of very big mega funds buying shares of early stage investors, of seed investors, which gives a lot of additional liquidity. Then we have another second problem, which is that there's not really, well, IPO or small and medium enterprise IPOs are not really a successful option in Spain either. The map, which was supposed to be one tool to solve this, seems that not to be working as it should. So that leaves us with few chances of exiting. That's the reality of our world. I mean, chances of exiting is usually a strategic sale. So someone basically buying 100% of the company. Fortunately, we're seeing much more interest from international players in Spain. We advised, for example, La Nevera Roja in their exit process. We weren't investors, but we were their advisors for the sale. And it's really shocking how a global company, because Rocket Internet is no longer a German company, they're a global player, is interested in being number one in a specific segment in a country like Spain, and is willing to pay apparently a big amount of money for being so, right? So we're happy because we're seeing many, or at least more exits than we used to see in the past. But there's still room for improvement in the ways for funds to exit, like I told you, with secondary sales or small size IPOs.
The last question from my side. Will you invest in a company that is based outside Spain right now, in Europe? I mean, a company like the ones we have here, or will you tell them to come to Spain, open an office here, and bring the company here?
Well, we from the early stage Andalusia fund, we can do investments in companies worldwide basically, but they need to have at least a satellite office in Andalusia. So an office with 2-3 employees would be enough. I mean, of course, we're looking for skilled talent to be hired. So we're not looking for a call center or something like that. But I don't know, a small development office would be enough. For the growth stage fund, yeah, we could be doing investment. Actually, that's something we're looking at. We're speaking with a lot of European funds, American funds to try to co-invest. That would be, if it's a company outside, that would be more a co-investment. But trying to bring our Spain, Southern Europe, LATAM angle to the table, and that's something that we found that a lot of European and American funds find very interesting. Being able to bring a company to Latin America is something that they value a lot.
Okay, great. That is from my side. I don't know if you have more questions, so you can, yeah.
Yes, you mentioned that your group involves 50 members. I was just wondering how much involvement those members have in the investments that you make. do they act as mentors, or do they help in any acquisition of partners or anything?
Yeah, basically, the way we do it is the investment team itself is made of 15 people. Rest of it is consulting and corporate. The way we work is, for example, you want to go to Latin America, we will get the team in Latin America to get involved with you, help you find potential partners, help you find, I don't know, an office, help you find. We're not supposed to do the job that you're supposed to do, but we will open all the doors you need in different regions. And then from the consulting and corporate sides, what we try to do is, for example, we're working with some of our portfolio companies to get public financing from them. So we help them in that process. We're experts in that. In other cases, we can help in raising new rounds of investment, trying to look for a potential exit. I mean, we're currently, for example, very active with two of our portfolio companies, introducing them to big players in their industry. And that's something that comes from our corporate finance department, basically. So we try to be very involved, each part of the company in what they are good at, basically.
Okay, so thank you, Carlos. Thank you for all the inside information. I like it. To be honest with you, I would like to have an exit soon, and if it's with you guys, it's going to be great. I mean, that will prove some sort of success.
We're working on it. Hopefully, we can get it this year.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so we'll start with the teams. I'll introduce you to first Sticky. It's a team from Belgium. They spent some time here with us, so we know almost all the details about what they've been doing. You're thinking about probably opening an office in Belgium or staying here. So anything you can do to convince them to stay here will be great. Okay, we'll move on into this part. So you're not going to be noticing anything, but we'll be more in a more closer environment. Okay, you're going to be sitting. So time is yours. Let's sit there.
It's easier.
No,
Yeah,
I don't.
Oh, sorry.
I don't think it works.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Good.
Yeah. Okay, I'll put you up there. No, you don't want it. You don't want to see it. Okay.
I prefer seeing him than me.
All right.
Okay. So hello, Carlos. We from Belgium, as Rafa said. So we are Speaky. So Speaky is a new way to learn languages online. So we are in the digital language learning market, which is worth $4 billion at the moment, and it's booming, 1 billion per year. The reason for that is that at the moment, 95% of the people are still learning languages offline, and there is a huge switch in the market at the moment. So we started working full-time on the project on the 1st of September and launched our MVP only on the 6th of October. So since then, everything went really fast. We integrated the accelerator, of course. We launched our Android version to test our users on the mobile. And we acquired more than 11,000 users. It's a 60% growth rate for the last 3 months. And we have a current acquisition rate of 250 people per day, users per day, and also we have a 2,200 downloads on the Android store. So the problem that we are solving is that if you want to find a language partner at the moment, and especially the right language partner for you, like that fits your interests and passions, and practice with him, it's actually a real difficult process online at the moment. So what we do is that we integrate all this into one website by providing a matchmaking algorithm to find the perfect language partner for you based on interest and passion. We also provide a chat and video chat directly integrated in the browser so that you practice in the best environment. And we also provide tools, language learning oriented tools, such as a message correction system to enhance the language learning experience. So yeah.
at the moment, we don't monetize our users, but we plan to integrate premium features in November. Our team, we are 3 engineers graduated in Belgium, 2 technical, 1 specialized in back-end development. Benjamin here specialized in front-end and UX, and myself in charge of the in the user acquisition and growth. So yeah, we are extremely hard workers. We turn on the light here at the office every day. We are full life committed to this project, and that's the reason why we came here in Malaga. And also, we are really ambitious since we really believe that this project is going to be huge, and it's going to have a worldwide impact. So right now,
how do you differ from other platforms that do things similar?
What do you have in mind?
I don't know, whatever, Duolingo or...
Okay, so for example, Duolingo or Buzu, which are the main language learning platform at the moment, they are language learning softwares. So basically what they provide is a way you can learn without anybody, even though it crowdsourced and it's a social network. What we are focusing on is the social part. So it's the interaction with human and the practice, actually, the practice with native speakers.
Okay, but who's doing that social part? And you said you have a chat and something like that. Doesn't that limit your growth? Well, your speed of growing. Basically, if you need more people to solve problems of any additional users, doesn't that cap the growth?
I don't really get the question. Sorry.
So basically, you have a chat. You want something more personalized. It's not a software, right? So
Yeah.
is that scalable?
Yeah, it is. It is 100% scalable. It's
How come?
peer-to-peer technology, so it's WebRTC, and it's so yeah, it doesn't have any impact on the servers and stuff. So it's peer-to-peer. It's 100% scalable.
Okay. And when you said you have 11,000 users, is that registered users that
Yeah,
get
it's
your email? They're active, or what do you consider that?
Okay, so it's users who created a profile, which means that they are interested in learning languages, but those are not our active users. So we have around 15% really active users on a weekly basis. So by active users, we mean people that actually find a partner. So they have someone to practice with, and they actually practice with him using our chat and video chat.
Okay. Okay. And you said that you currently don't have a monetization path or monetization strategy. What you're planning to bring for monetization?
Okay, so there are 2 aspects on this in our website. First, we have people who want to learn in a social way, so meaning that they want to connect with people and to actually practice the language and make friends around the world, okay? And on the other part, they are really willing to learn the language. And what we want is to provide professional services on the platform with the real teachers that can offer the services directly on the platform, while the social aspect will still be free and 100% free. So it's like a premium in the sense that you can book a teacher, and of course we can take commissions on this.
Okay. Understood. So basically, how are you acquiring customers right now?
Right now, it's only inbound strategies, so it's social medias, especially Twitter and Instagram. And also, we are focusing a lot on SEO, which we believe is our main traction in the future, main acquisition strategy. So yeah, it's basically content marketing and inbound social media marketing.
Okay.
So we have no paid at the moment, paid acquisition, no metrics on this.
Okay. And what's the retention of the users? Do you see them, well, how long do they stay in the website? And yeah, what's the retention? I mean, at the end of the day, what you want is users that stay for a long time with your platform.
Yeah.
And that also shows that the quality of your product is good. So what are the current retention metrics?
Yeah, so the as I said, there are 15% that actively use the website. The overall average time on site is 10 minutes, but those are also the people who just come on the landing page and don't stay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's pretty good actually, and because we have a video chat, meaning that when they start practicing, it's usually between 15 and 30 minutes minimum. So yeah, this is quite a long time, and they chat as well for quite a long time on the website, and the time on the application as well is around 11 or 12 minutes. It's even higher, I think. And it's around 350 people using the app every day.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay. And you say that Duolingo is something different, so who would be your direct competitor right now?
at the moment, there are websites like Conversation Exchange, My Language Exchange. Those are old websites that especially do the matchmaking between language partner. So they are focusing on the matchmaking part. And what we believe is the future is, of course, the other parts that will allow users to stay, to create a network, and to stay on the site. Because what they do is they matchmake, and then people just meet on Skype, Facebook, WhatsApp, whatever they use as a mean to practice. But they go on this website and then they leave once they get the partner. And if it's not the right partner, then they have to go back. And the website is also a bit. You can go My Language Exchange or Conversation Exchange. Those have millions of users. And yeah, those are actually our main competitor. There is also another website which is called italki. It's Shanghai-based, and it's a marketplace to find a language teacher. So yeah, they are focusing a lot on the paying aspect, but not really the language exchange parts.
Okay, understood. And you've done all this without external financing, or you've raised a round already?
Now only us.
Okay. And you're looking for further financing?
Yeah, exactly.
How much?
160K.
Okay. To do what? User acquisition?
Especially user acquisition and hire 2 developers, both for Android and iOS, because we know and we have seen that this is the future in our industry. That's the reason why people will keep using the website and come back and actually practice with their partner. And we believe that we must keep our growth on the website with our developers here, and also really focus on the retention using the iOS and Android apps, and also focus on the growth strategy, which is currently limited because it's only inbound strategies and yeah, with limited resources.
Okay, sounds good. Interesting. Is there any? Well, I think they've sent me some documentation from you guys. We'll take a look. Languages is something that we've always looked at. I think
It's the one
it's a really
from Charo. It's 2 weeks old maybe, so I can send you an updated version. But
no, we will update. Okay, sorry, should be there. Carlos, the idea is that Excel sheet is a Google Docs, so we will update the latest version into that.
okay.
So don't worry, we will send you the updated link. Honestly, I didn't open up that one, so so you probably we can probably do it here.
Oh, that's great. I was saying that we're interested in languages. Well, our well, e-learning in general. Our main worry here is usually that you're competing with uh, well, or you should be competing in the future with public institutions. You will be competing with people that will be able to give good content for free online. But it's true that with your approach, more in a conversation way where you need more the social part, it's true that there's a way of competing there, right? Because at the end of the day, if you go to Duolingo, Coursera, or whatever, you're just, as you rightly said, talking to a machine or at least reading information, but you need the conversational part, right? Which we know it's the most important part of it. But I still don't see how people will be motivated to pay for that. That's my main worry, basically.
Okay, so Actually, people are already paying for this. So on website like Verbling as well, or other website, you can already book a teacher and people pay for it, and those are really profitable companies. And it's really growing. As I said at the beginning, the language learning market, digital language learning market, is still really small compared to the potential. There are really not that many people that know that those solutions exist. So that's one part. And what we think is going to be huge and really different is, as I said, the social aspect and the free aspect that's going to really motivate people to be on the platform, use, make friends around the world, and add something, which is not the main value proposition, but add something like premium features. And that's where we think is the difference.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Cool.
Okay, and any advice from them to stay here in Andalusia? I mean, that would be.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't know how the ecosystem is in Belgium right now, but honestly, I think Andalusia is at least putting in place all the basics for a good ecosystem to arise. Well, you've experienced life in Malaga, which I guess you would have liked all this time you spent there. I don't think it's a bad place to live for sure. And apart from that, there's very good talent coming out of universities, and I think there's easy access to public financing here in Spain, and especially in Andalusia. You know that Andalusia is one of the regions that receive more money from the European Union, which is always good. And especially there, well, as you're probably aware, with all the 2020 Horizon and things like that, more money will be coming specifically for startups. And yeah, you know, free money is always good. So if you have public entities supporting it, I would take advantage of it for sure if I was an entrepreneur. So you know, good quality of life, and good access to money. To me, it's a very good combination to consider staying in the region for sure.
Okay.
And one question about Belgium. Could Axon invest in Belgium?
Well, as I said earlier, well, what we could do is investing. Well, we could invest early in a Belgian company, but we will need you to have an office in Andalusia, if it's in the early stages. Could be, I mean, 2 or 3 developers, and the rest of the team is in Belgium. That would be enough.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Carlos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
you. Gracias.
We'll move on to the next one. Yeah. Gracias. So the next company is its name is Quest Organizer. It's Douglas from San Francisco and Ella from Holland. Sorry, and they've been staying here for the last 99 days. It sounds like been in prison or something, but I don't think that has been the case. Okay, so please.
Hi, I'm Ella.
Hello, I'm Douglas.
Hi.
And our startup is Quest Organizer, and it is a stopover flight search engine. And what it does is it finds an optimal stopover for any flight. So for example, if you fly from Barcelona to Los Angeles, instead of finding you a direct flight, we will present to you a list of cities you can visit on the way, and you can decide which city and for how many days you want to visit. This is a double win for travelers because they get to see 2 destinations instead of 1. And very often they save money on flights, as our flights are often cheaper than the round-trip flights, as it is a combination of non-partner and low-cost airlines. So our website is perfect for people who want to see more of the world and save money at the same time. It is also good for people who look forward to book multi-city trips and around-the-world trips. We have launched our website a month ago, and since then we had 3,600 visits. and 19,000 page views. Also, we had 5 flights booked, and we have grown 250% since the first week. We have 4 people in our team. We have a senior Ruby on Rails programmer who did a backend. We also have a front-end developer, and we have Douglas, who has experience and degree in entrepreneurship. And I do design, marketing, and user acquisition. We have a unique insight to this sector of travel, as we often travel using the stopover technique, which helps us to see more places and save money on flights. However, it was very time-consuming to do it manually, to find the optimal stopover by hand using other websites. That's why we decided to automate this technique, and that's why we developed our website.
Okay, so basically, do you integrate with airlines websites, or with how do you get all the prices, routes, and things like that?
Yes, we have a partnership with one of the companies.
An OTA, an online travel agency, and it's one of the big ones in the U.S. It's called Fareportal.
Yeah.
Yes, and from them we have the data about the flights, and also we deep link to them for booking. And right now we are trying to develop and have more partners to offer more flights.
Okay, so basically, isn't there any other websites doing this? I recall of some other competitors doing something similar. Am I right?
We haven't found any other that does exactly this, which is finding the optimal stopover and presenting you the list of, let's say, 5 cities, rated by price, ranged by price, and letting you decide which one to choose, which one to stop in, and for how many days.
The only similar thing that we've seen are blogs that present to the travelers different flight deals that they found manually. And they present to them as, you can go here, here, here on this date, and it's going to cost this much. But what we do is we automate the service and allow the user to customize it on the dates that they want to fly, and also the location that they want to add to their destination, add to their flight.
From a client point of view, what can be the discount that he can get using you?
Well, when the user combines 2 airlines, very often he will be able to get a much cheaper price than on buying a direct round-trip ticket.
And one example is Ella flew to Poland using the website, and she saved 60 euros compared to other big major competitors in the same date and location that she wanted to fly to.
Yes, and I get to visit Brussels on the way.
About the percentage in general? What?
Percentage? I just remember.
It ranges.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's 20% that they can save. Sometimes it's 20% more that they'll spend. But they would prefer to see an extra destination rather than not seeing an extra destination. So sometimes they prefer actually to pay more to see Copenhagen or Stockholm or Iceland, and they don't mind paying a little extra on adding an extra destination to their trip to make it more epic.
And do you think that market is big enough? Because I mean, at the end of the day, it has to be people traveling for more than 3 or 4 days, right? Because if you want to make the most of it, you need some days. It's leisure travel, not business travel. So how big do you estimate the market to be?
Well, it's hard for us to say. Currently, we're targeting the travelers and the backpackers and the people who are traveling for leisure. But we also think that we can appeal to a business traveler or someone who's traveling for a shorter time period, as we can also allow them to treat the extra destination as a layover. So that way that they will still save money on the total flight, depending on where they're flying from and to, but they don't have to spend more than 5 hours in that extra destination, and it still allows them to find a new ticket that wouldn't be available on any other website. But it's hard for us to say how big the market is, but we expect it to be
Big. Yeah.
big. Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
probably a small percent of the big market initially, but even a small percent of the people who book flights online is still a big market.
Okay, understood. And you know that the flight online flight sale is well getting tight in margins. It's well some of the players are having tough times with the margins going down, and actually with some airlines trying to take the traffic to their website. Do you think you're offering enough value added for a client to use your site? And also on top of that, what's your current business model, and what margin or what percentage of the sales are you taking if you're working with a third party OTA?
Our business model is based on the commissions. We are earning a commission from every flight booked, and that depends on the partner that we have. Currently, as I was researching this, I learned that actually OTAs, which are the websites who sell tickets, like Expedia, for example, they are actually losing customers compared to flight search engine that you don't book the ticket directly on the website.
Meta flight search engines like we are.
That are connecting a lot of websites to link you to book the ticket. So this seems to be a good sign for the future.
And then also we book multiple one-way flights per user, so we also earn more revenue than compared to other meta flight search engines.
Okay. What's the current traffic that you say you currently have, and what way are you acquiring new users and new customers?
So the current traffic in this past month, because we launched just a month ago, we had 3,600 sessions, and we are mostly acquiring users through social media, through Twitter.
30% came from Twitter.
And recently we noticed that people are somehow spreading it, because some people come directly to the website, just typing the address or through email that people send them.
And we're investigating different outlets to find the right source for our marketing, and we're putting a little money into AdWords, into Facebook, and we're just kind of seeing what happens and calculating everything and keeping track of to see which is the most profitable outlet for ourselves right now. But we're also targeting blogs, because we believe that that's also going to be a big potential for us, is when we start getting more people to write articles on us, and those blogs will always be up. And we currently have one article written on us already, and someone else has found us, and they also want to write an article on us, so we're talking with them right now.
No, definitely. I think that for the kind of market that you're attacking, that you said you're attacking, it's basically first positioning yourself in blogs and among influencers in the space, right? Because I really see your model working for backpackers. I used to be myself a backpacker for some years. Travel the world. I used to live in Singapore, so traveled all Southeast Asia as a backpacker. And yeah, of course, I've been one of those that keeps looking for the best prices in every website. I don't know. I've gone to, for example, Shanghai through Hong Kong from Malaysia, which was like going back and then going all the way to the other side. So yeah, I mean, I really can feel the pain.
Yes. It does take days sometimes to find that perfect route.
Yes.
When you find it, it is so relieving. But yeah, now it takes people 4 minutes on our website.
Yes, and people have found some really amazing trips, and so far we got really positive feedback from people from our users.
And it's all completely automated. I mean, if I now say I want to go from Madrid to Germany, whatever, next week for the whole week, I just introduce that, and you'll offer me every possibility that you are able to find in a few seconds.
Yes.
Yes, we actually offer you, on the second page you'll see the list of the stopover cities that we recommend you stop to save money. and you can decide how long you want to stay there.
And
you can add also your own.
yes, you can
Yes,
also
you can
mention
also add your own, but
And-
it will be usually more expensive because we use calculation to calculate the cheapest one.
And our flight search engine is always growing with its knowledge of where the best places to visit is. So every day it impresses us with new destinations we've never known were a good connection between two places.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I think that's more than enough to get a first insight of the company.
Yeah, this is a question also, and this is regarding the location of the company. Douglas is from the United States. And they were thinking about the possibility of setting the company in Delaware and probably opening a sister company here or doing something like that. Any advice from your side? I mean, would it be sexier to have the company there or here? And what is your recommendation?
Well, if you're targeting the American market, if you see your next investment rounds very clearly coming from the US, if you see a good opportunity there both to grow and of course for an exit, I would strongly recommend starting the company, well, establishing the company in Delaware. I think that's a very good possibility. You have also take in mind that it will make it more difficult somehow if you don't organize it correctly to get public funding from European entities, because they sometimes see Delaware as a complicated place to give money to. But anyway, having said that, we've seen also parent companies in Delaware with subsidiaries in Europe, where basically if all the workers are hanging from the subsidiary in Europe and most of the contracts are also in this company, and then the parent company is just holding itself really with not really a lot of activity coming from it, yeah, you still have the possibility to get this public funding.
Okay.
Okay.
But be careful to organize it correctly and make sure that if you want to apply for public funding from European funds, make sure that everything you do is in line what they will require in the future, basically. So if they require you to have the workers hanging from this company and you want that money, make sure you do it that way.
Okay. And another question: would it be easier also to set up a company here first and then opening a sister account in Delaware and then do the transfer about the IP and
yeah, that's another possibility. I mean, we're now investing in a company that is moving to Delaware, and the process is not really complicated. Well, when you're not too big to do it. I mean, once you're too big, it becomes complicated, and for some of the shareholders, there could be some taxes implications coming from Europe to the US. But if you do it, what I would recommend doing is, now that you're not too big, start here. Maybe do the first round here, Spain, wherever you want in Europe. And then for next big one, when you're thinking of raising 1 million or something like that, from that point on, I would recommend being in the US for sure. And at that stage, it's not difficult and it's not expensive at all, and it has no tax implications. We're seeing it. But if you want to do it when you're going for the next Series B or whatever, 5 million or whatever round, that starts to have some more serious implications and more difficulties to move the company there.
Okay.
That's great.
Yeah, good to know. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos, for that insight. Yeah. So let's move on to the next one. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. We're going to be moving to a B2B company. Is based, the founders are from Slovenia. You have it here. And I think there is something in common with Manfred, because they are doing something for the wines. Although Manfred hasn't seen the solution yet, but I'm sure he's going to be happy about it. So go ahead. Is Matic?
Yeah. Hi, Carlos. My name is Matic. I'm from company Iviti. And basically what we are doing is a solution for agriculture. Right now we're focusing on vineyards. And our application is basically advising wine growers when they should spray or do certain actions in the vineyard in the most optimal way, so that they basically save money and resources. We're doing this by using the data about the weather and about the previous actions in the vineyard. And what we're doing differently is basically we have also free version of an application, and we're relying on open data about the weather to provide this free service. This open data about the weather was not available a couple of years ago. So the current solutions that are on the market usually require people to purchase weather stations and things like that. And in the European market, in agriculture, which is very fragmented, it has more than 70% of the wineries and also of the farms in general are really small. These previous models didn't really get this IT into farming. Now regarding traction, at the moment we have around 80 users, mostly here in Spain, but the season of the winemaking didn't start here yet, so we don't know yet what's the retention. But we have also 3 beta users in New Zealand, and with them we were able to achieve the retention because the season is ending there at the moment, so they are coming back for 10 days or something like this. The size of the market, okay, we can talk about it later, but basically the structure I mentioned. Revenue model, so yeah, basically we have a freemium model, so the free version of an application, and then we also have a technology of easily deployable weather stations that we can send over the mail. And so if somebody wants to have really high quality data, we are going to be pretty much selling the hardware. In the team, we are 2 guys. Me, I have some experience both in technology and in business. I started one company in Slovenia 2 years ago, which is still running and is going. And the other guy is Yanei, is a technical guy, developer. We're learning also about agriculture a lot in the past year, trying to soak all the knowledge available, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. So you also build your own hardware, or you only integrate with third parties hardware?
Yeah, we have pretty much firmware for a hardware which is already globally available. It's made by a Spanish company, Liberium, from Zaragoza.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have a technology that allows really easy deployment of this, basically a wizard.
Okay. So your value added basically is the monitoring of all this data. So how does this differ from what the hardware builder itself can offer to your client?
Yeah, the hardware builder is not offering a complete solution. They are only offering hardware. This is their strategy because they have really wide portfolio of sensors for different measurements, and they are then combining this with different cloud providers. And usually, if you want to build with them, you need the custom application for vineyards or whatever other industry, to provide this solution that we have. I don't know if I was clear with that.
No,
We have a complete solution for the end market, and we are relying on their hardware.
Okay. Who are you competing here with? Because I've seen other companies doing growth, software and monitoring and integrating with other sources. I think it's a pretty crowded space, right? Isn't it?
Sorry, it was on mute now.
Okay. You mean the competition here in Europe? The main problem is that the adoption of those things in Europe is pretty slow. Just the reason in this, very likely, it is because of this fragmentation of the market. Like in the United States, for example, those things like precision agriculture in general is being adopted much faster because larger percentage of the farms there are big and they go for those kind of things. And in our case, like in Europe, for example, typical winery, 70% of them have like 10 hectares of area. It's like a family managed winery, and they are not really into buying something and putting it there. And that's what the way we are going is like, okay, we will offer them a free solution based on the open data about the weather, which is like getting much better in Europe also in the recent time because Europe is putting also money into like putting a lot of weather stations and those things around just because of that reason, yeah.
Okay, so if the client is so reluctant as of today to pay for that, what can you offer them for them to move from the free model to the premium one?
Yeah, so basically in the free model we will offer them like some basic functionality. Like there are multiple diseases against which they have to spray. We will offer them functionality like modeling for some of those diseases, and we'll try to achieve the retention. So basically, in 2 or 3 months, we will see if they are coming back. We expect they will because the guys in New Zealand did, and offer them like more of those disease models and some like also division support. So for other activities as a premium version.
Mm-hmm. Okay, understood. And how are you doing the acquisition of customers? What's the strategy in such a traditional sector?
Yeah, this is at the moment we are like trying to do it over the internet, but we're expecting to do most of it over like traditional media and like more traditional ways. Also, like going to different fairs and being present in the local institutions because they give a lot of generally there is they pay a lot of attention to local institutions which are basically advising them like advisory institutions. Like we're trying to partner with different institutions in Slovenia. Also, we're trying here in Spain. We're also in some European ICT Agri accelerator right now, because that will be the way, as far as we know, to penetrate the market. But at the moment, to get those 80 users, we got them over like internet-based user acquisition, which is not the optimum way, but it's the free one. So with limited funding, it was the most we could have done at this point.
Okay, I would like to add a little bit about Fiverr. Are you familiar with that, Carlos?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 4 companies here in Vault right now, which are being funded by Fiverr. Yeah, Matic got 40K from these 40K euros from this Smart Agro Accelerator, which is based in Denmark. And we get some others also. They got up to 108,000. One of our companies that I will mention later on. This for us is a move. It's a very strategic move, and we are the only accelerator right now in Europe, which is part of what is called I3H. Is a new network of incubators and accelerators through Europe. We won a contest last year in December, so we are the only accelerator in Spain which is promoting this, and we are going to be seeing a lot of new applications coming into Fiverr that allows to do things over the internet. Sorry, are you there? You froze. Oh, froze. Oh wow. Oh wow. Yeah, let's see if he's hanging out. Otherwise, he needs to be calling in again. Hopefully, it's not going to be me. Should I kick him out and ask him to dial in again? Okay, I'll send him again. He's here. No. Oh, sorry about that. Nobody knows what is going on. Hopefully.
What kind of speech?
Sorry about that. I think it's his side. Otherwise, it's not connected. Are we connected? Yeah. You should be connected, right? Yeah, we're connected. I think it's from his side. So we are not going to be hanging the call.
It's just offline completely, or
Yeah, he's offline completely. I'm not. Let's see. So until he gets back to. Oh, here it is now. Okay. Try to have it again. He's not coming back. Oh, call him with his mobile. Sí, no te vemos online. Ah, vale. Genial. Tío. O sea que estábamos pensando que era por nuestra parte. Estamos preocupados. Vale. Vale, gracias. Hasta luego. Yeah, it's his side. No battery in his computer, so he was restarting again. So he should be back. Okay, I'll send the link again, just in case. This one. He's back now. Yeah. Here. Do you like to have a wine or something like Pinot Noir or something? I'm gonna say a few things for him to talk to Manfred. So I'm trying to go that route, and this is about wine and it's about Pinot Noir.
okay, he's like
He's making wines.
Okay.
He's doing so. He will be the best tester into that. So I will tell a few things. I was in a wine testing on Thursday last week, and actually the best Pinot Noir
here.
Yeah, him here. It's coming. So I'll or. Mm-hmm. Que no está disponible la llamada. Qué raro. no le sale. It says that it's not connected. So we'll probably have to. Charo, ¿puedes replicar lo de Carlos a poner como una segunda parte? Parece que se ha ido. ¿Te sigue dando error? ¿Qué es verdad? Si vemos que no, Charo está haciendo... Invitar, estoy invitando otra vez. Y otra vez. Si no hacemos un... Vale, pues nada, detenemos esta, acaba de hacer Charo una nueva y te mando el link. ¿Vale? Justo ahora.